Hearts pounding. We are streaming live in the Johnny Cave.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Kurgan, thank you for doing this, man. Seriously.
I'm happy to do it.
This is
happy
exciting
to do it,
stuff.
as always,
exciting
buddy.
stuff. So, I thought I would start out this fun little podcast with setting the tone.
Let's do it.
Do you remember the story of? I'll just tell you the story. I'll just say the story. So we met. Okay, we met at a CrossFit gym.
Sure did.
Okay,
And a couple years ago, you think?
What was it, about
Ish.
Three-ish?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. So about 3 weeks into it, I'm still learning the ropes and stuff, and there's this hellacious workout, because when you're 3 weeks into any type of CrossFitting, it's hellacious workouts all the time. But this was one that I knew was going to hurt early, and you had to get in the pain cave, and you were going to stay there.
What was it?
I forgot what it was.
Okay, I didn't know if it
but
was
it was
like...
something with a barbell.
Okay.
And
I was probably giving you stupid jokes in the middle of it.
this is what you actually do.
Okay, here you go. Never mind.
So you come up to me. I don't know you that right? The most I've asked you is like, hey, how do you work the clock? How do you do this? Can I do this? Can I push this sled by myself without anybody? There was that AstroTurf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you come up to me and you say, hey, man, I got a dilemma. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, he's going to ask me about, like, if he should, like, do one, like, if he should do singles, or is he going to hold on to the bar? And you go,
I have no idea where you're going with this, right?
Of course. You will when I say it. And you say it, and you say to me, all right, man, I got a dilemma. I'm like, all right, what's up, Mike? And you go, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20, right? You remember that?
Oh, my God. My buddy Paul found that somewhere. I don't even know where he saw that. You know Paul. I think it was like a t-shirt or something. We were doing some event. I think it was one of those Go Rock events at the time. And, hey, I like to break up tough situations, tough circumstances.
Absolutely. That's
times of you're digging deep.
You need to.
With jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you have to. You have to find the humor in life.
Exactly. So we were doing this Go Ruck event, and you know what the Go Ruck event is, right? It's like the 12, 14, 16-hour thing.
They beat the shit out of you.
Exactly. Really cool thing. Really cool cause, actually, too. But, we were getting our dicks kicked in. Probably 10 hours in. It's probably 3 a.m, and people are hurting. Freezing.
Sand chafing, right?
Cramps are starting to set in.
Blisters forming
all
on
over.
the feet.
Chafing. Hands are, like you said, legs are chafing. Hands are ripping open.
Right.
And it's like, everyone's kind of feeding into that. And my only response to get through that is to just start popping jokes off. Like, act like doing 100 push-ups in the middle of being dead is fun. You know what I mean? And
right.
I remember reciting that line that Paul came up with. Hey, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm down for whatever. And then I think I obviously we were talking about that.
Right. Well, it's funny because I don't remember anything at that workout except laughing. I think actually it was thrusters, and I was laughing. And obviously you don't want to laugh while you're doing those. But anyway, but
you can cry or you can laugh. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Whatever gets you through it. I
agree. So again, thank you very much. Cheers, sir.
This is awesome.
Thank you. All right. So Apple juice. You are expecting.
We are.
Yeah.
Yep. We are what? 11 weeks away.
When is your due date?
July 22nd.
My daughter's was July 8th. So
and Aiden was born July 7th.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
When was Gwen born?
July 8th.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Her due date was July 4th.
Gotcha. But she was
born
July 8th.
I wanted it on that. I wanted it on July 4th.
Independence Baby.
That way I could sit there, look at my little girl one day and say, hey, these are all for you.
Or you could do I was just going to say, yeah, you can kind of...
Yeah. I can still do that a little bit. Oh, they're early.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
Aiden's July 7th. Baby K is what we're dubbing the new one.
Okay.
July 22nd.
Baby K. Why the K?
Baby Kurgan. Baby Kurgan. So we're not finding out the gender.
Okay. But we're hoping for a little girl from you?
Hey, I know it's cliche, right? I just want a healthy baby, but I truly mean that. I know we both truly mean that. But hey, if I had a pick, I'm gonna say I'll take a girl. But if we have another boy, Aiden and I and Tank already have a plan just to continue to drive Jordan.
So, have you ever had a panic attack? Have you ever had one?
A legitimate panic attack?
Legitimate.
Nah,
like to your knees, oh my God, what's going on?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
I didn't until I found out I had a girl. Seriously,
That-
Ursula called me.
See, I feel like the girl at Gwen's age is cute. They're manageable. You get the daddy-daughter connection. Maybe a daughter when she's 13 or 16. That might be a panic attack.
See, you're making me drink again. Because
I mean, hell, we'll bring Gwen to the podcast right now.
You know what freaks me out about parenting? Okay, the generation that we're gonna raise. Okay, most likely, without a doubt, by the time she's in high school, and by the time our kids are in high school, marijuana is gonna be legal.
By the time Gwen's in kindergarten.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be legal. Not only that, Denver just recently,
mushrooms.
allowed, like, I think it's decriminalized mushrooms.
Mushrooms, yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Or was it Wednesday? That's what scares you?
What scares me is I feel like I have to catch up and do that stuff so I can have an honest to God sit down with her and explain to her what that is. Because all my parents told me was don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like I might need to
different
sit
now.
down, and I've gotten high maybe 10 times in my life. And I feel like I would need to sit down with my daughter and say, this is what's going to happen. This is...
So having that conversation that you can relate with, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosh, it's crazy you say that. What else scares you about parenting? Because I got two things.
Social media.
That's not on my list, but that's a legitimate thing.
What's your other thing?
Well, I have two things.
Okay.
One we're good with. Well, with Aiden. So there's two things that scare me, and it's going to sound crazy. It's swimming and heroin. So I have this huge fear.
Take me here.
And maybe it's because I'm not the strongest of swimmers, but I have this huge fear of my kid drowning.
Okay.
Huge.
You know, my mother would say to that.
Tremendous
She would
fear.
say that you either in a past life, because my mother believed in all this stuff. Either in a past life, you either watched your child drown or you drowned.
Dude, I don't know. And maybe it's because I'm not a good swimmer, but it scares the living daylights out of me. And you know Bodie Miller? He was the Olympic skier.
Yeah.
Last summer, they had don't quote me on this, but a 2-3-year-old daughter, and they were having a family barbecue. And she snuck out the back door during a barbecue.
No way.
She's dead.
No
I believe
way.
it was
How
a
old?
daughter.
How old?
2 or 3. And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's a shame.
And so Aiden's a better swimmer than I am, but and then you get into like the hard drugs like heroin they're so freaking
So you're
addictive.
saying that you're going too far.
You right go and then they get
Well, now you're freaking me out because I'm thinking meth.
Well,
once you do meth, man,
you
like
get a
those
snippet of-
people
right.
just those, or if you
they're
get it from a
hooked.
friend that
Yeah.
doesn't buy it from a I guess the best thing that's going to happen, I guess, with marijuana being legal, it's going to be in a distributor. Like it's going to be at
to be
government
controlled and regulated.
right. So you know you're not getting something mixed in with.
But again, if your kid has a drink or they smoke weed or something,
right.
all things being equal, no harm, no foul, right? I mean,
Right.
whatever, it's kind of part of it. But if they get a snippet of those hard drugs, I mean, that could be life-changing.
Devastating. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just funny how
Addiction
you
to
just said
millionth
heroin.
level.
You didn't say like
I
hard
say
drugs.
that, yeah, hard drugs. But it's swimming and hard drugs.
Yeah.
I can't. That's the two things.
It's a scary thing for sure.
I feel I can parent through a lot of other issues, right? Which you're always going to have, right? You have issues with Gwen, who's 1. We have issues with Aiden, who's about to be 8. And I feel confident in Aiden's mom, Jordan, myself, our ability to kind of parent through those things, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of challenges come up, and it's tough. But man, there's a couple things that what are you going to do? It's just devastating to even think about.
Yeah, it's a scary thing. In fact, that's the reason I had the panic attack was because it wasn't because I was having a girl in a sense because I couldn't not the stereotype thing. It was more of a what can I teach a girl? Like with a guy?
What do you know?
I felt like well, not only that, what scared me to death was if I screw her up, she's going to marry some loser.
Yeah.
And, she's going to ruin her life all because dad was either too hard or not hard enough or
That's a tough thing.
yeah, and that
Do you think about that a lot?
more.
You
I think about it all the time. I think about it. But at the end of the day, she's a human. She's a human being. And the other part that's a hard part of or struggle is knowing they're going to screw up and having to let them screw up so they learn.
Yeah. Or, hey, let me throw one on top of that. Or when they get to the age where they can reason, right? Which
Yes.
Gwen's not, obviously.
Right.
They get to the age where they can reason, and you can talk about times or recent situations that you screwed up.
Right.
That resonates a lot.
Right.
with
Absolutely.
Aiden. You know what I mean?
That's,
He's like,
and that
really?
goes back to
You
me
messed up?
wanting to, like, kind of maybe I should start learning how to, like, maybe eat some gummy marijuana or something.
Hey.
Just so I can sit there and say to her that, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that worries me in terms of that.
Hey, that's going to be illegal before she's...
Social media scares me too.
Well, the bullying aspect.
Yeah, that's something our parents never had to deal with in terms of social media. And not only that, school shootings. My parents never sat there and talked to me about school
They didn't
shootings.
exist.
That's what I'm saying.
The other day, I was just talking to Jordan. I said, hey, did you know there was a shooting in Denver the other day?
STEMs, right?
Yeah, the STEM school.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're becoming so prevalent that I don't even...
Exactly. It's becoming like, oh, another one?
I don't want to say the norm because it's far from the norm, but
it's not.
they're too frequent.
Absolutely.
They're too frequent,
Yeah.
and that's scary. But I used to think of, and that's an interesting topic, social media in and of itself, because I think, dude, that's...
Was it
Sorry,
Ham?
I thought Johnny farted, but that was Ham.
No, that's Ham. Ham. We got my French Bulldog downstairs, and he makes grunt noises. So if anybody grunt noises, that's Ham.
I should be used to that.
You should be.
Social media. God, I lost my train of thought. But that's a wild thing, and I used to think that, the addiction, like everyone's just so addicted to social media, and what's crazy is
You can't put down your phone.
you can't put down your phone, and they have that whole like screen time thing now, right? So you can look to see how much time you're spending on a particular app or whatever.
It's insane.
Well, that's been eye-opening because it's like you said, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't do the Facebook thing anymore, so I dropped it in a separate folder, and like I check it very rarely.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'll just check like Instagram or whatever. But people are just glued to their phones.
Absolutely.
But then I never appreciated the bullying side of that. I'm like of social media, whereby back in the day when we went to school, you would have playground antics and we make fun of each other and it was all cool. Then we went home.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Now,
you just learned to deal. It seemed easier to deal with back then. Now it's like they're
doesn't go
hounded
away.
at school. Yeah, you got away.
You take a picture of somebody and you post it, that doesn't go away.
You're right.
Versus if you said something stupid, they would make fun of you and you went into class and it was gone.
Yeah,
Now
right.
you take a stupid picture of somebody or you have a stupid picture of yourself out there, the kids start making fun of it. That doesn't go away.
Right.
They keep pouring it on Facebook.
So how do you handle that? So
Dude.
has there been issues at your house?
No, nothing like that. He wants a phone. He wants to get on Instagram. He calls it hearting things, right? He likes to double tap and heart things. But oh God, no.
What do you think? What's the appropriate, in your fatherly eyes? What's the appropriate age for a phone?
For a phone or for social media? Because I think those are two different discussions.
So let's go both.
For a phone, maybe soon. So he's almost 8 in
For like emergency
so
situations.
yeah. So doing the sport thing, right? You drop him off for sport practice or whatever.
Yeah.
To be able to contact for a ride,
Right.
right? And I think you can restrict that. You could restrict the access on the phone. The social media, I can't even answer the question. It ain't today. I'll tell you that right now. And I don't even know. Let's see. When he'll be a freshman in 6 years.
Okay.
We're going to be in a whole, who knows where we'll be, in terms of social media in 6 years.
You're right.
Well, so that's tough to say.
In 6 years, we're probably going to have a contact lens. Or we're probably going to have some sort of, I don't know, some sort of sunglasses. Or we're going to be doing like the Iron Man Tony Stark stuff where we're just, it's like embedded.
We're starting.
Or it has like this little strap, like a Go Cam, but we're just looking at stuff.
Didn't Google have a glasses?
I think they did. I think the big problem was people were like unsure if you were recording them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, pervert can sit there and walk around in Victoria's Secret and
and they can
drop their glasses or slide it underneath or
I
whatever.
can't even keep up with that stuff. You know what I saw today is Jeff Bezos. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know the quote. You can look it up or the name of the device, but it's a moon landing thing. I saw it this morning on the Today Show. That he has this contraption thing that he's talking about building full-on functional cities on the moon.
Jeff Bezos, man.
Dude, he's wild.
He just came up with...
It's wild.
He started selling books, right? He just sold books.
We were talking about that.
And then what did he say? He was like
legit books.
Yeah.
Like, I remember you could just buy books.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, I was talking to somebody recently, and I was like, it used to be a bookstore. They're like, really? I was like, they didn't always sell.
Right.
Everything.
Now their warehouses are like. Ever see the Raiders of the Lost Ark? Remember that movie? 1980s movie.
Dude, I didn't see it.
I'm sorry,
you're just dating yourself, brother.
How old are you compared to me?
35.
Oh, you're a young pup.
What are you at?
Can I see your ID? I didn't know you were drinking. Can I see your ID? At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, there is this where he gets some sort of treasure called the Ark of the Covenant, right?
Yeah.
Puts in this huge warehouse, and this warehouse is full to the brim with like boxes. So it's just one relic that's lost through time. And if you ever drive past, I think there's one off of like on your way to Milwaukee.
Oh,
huge
right there,
warehouse.
Racine.
Yeah, huge warehouse of Amazon.
Huge,
yeah.
Probably 300, 400, 500 yards long.
Right. I appreciate you aging me like that, man.
Hey, I actually.
You're right.
That was on
me.
I'm gonna be honest.
Whatever.
Those facilities are nuts.
I'm classic.
You're aged to perfection.
No, I'm getting there. Not a finished product, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there for sure.
It's wild. Yeah, it's no telling where we're going to be with social media and stuff like that.
It's actually really scary.
I mean, 6 years ago, we didn't have what? We didn't have... I bet you, obviously, Facebook was there, but we didn't have Snapchat. We didn't have Instagram, I'd probably say.
Well, you know what I've heard recently, and it's scary? It scared the hell out of me when I heard about it. Our phones right now are listening to us when they're off.
Oh.
They're listening to us. So if we sit there and we talk about, hey, let's go hang out at Hawaii. Oh, hey, let's take the Kurgan family and the Angel family and take a family vacation to Hawaii. I wonder what the rates are.
You'll get an ad for it.
We get an ad for it.
Do you have any crazy stories with that?
Not yet.
I got one.
Go for it.
So, what you just said, we all have, when you've been talking about something, then you get an ad for it, right? Yeah. And whatever. So, about a year ago, we have we bought a house 2 years ago up in Mundelein, and about a year ago, we were walking in our backyard. We did not have, this is the key, right? All right, so there's two keys. One, that's a crazy topic. Number two, that we didn't have our phones. So we didn't have our phones on us. We were in the backyard, and we said, hey, this apple tree, we should make applesauce or an apple pie or whatever,
Yeah.
No big deal. And then we said, we have a pear tree. And I'm like, hey, what could we make with pears? And she's like, I don't know. I think you just, I don't know. I think you just eat pears. You know what I mean?
Fucking egg.
Because you never heard of pear things. We get inside, the next day, a like on an old photo of mine from like years ago on Instagram was pear recipes.
From what? From Facebook?
Instagram.
Pear
recipes 101, whatever. Liked one of my photos.
See,
and then there's pear pie, there's pear jam, there's pear jelly, there's pear.
That's really scary.
Wild. Well, I don't think they to your point, I don't think they hide the fact that they're listening. They're
no, they don't.
Yeah.
I think if they shit out of me, that's Terminator stuff.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know.
There'd be cool parts, if you're thinking of like that little like butler, that artificial intelligence that's wired through your house one day, that's going to probably be a butler that's going to help you out with like, hey, pay my bill.
Hey, it's like baby steps, right? And I know this might sound silly in response to butler, right? It's like, look at like Roombas or like those, they have Roombas for your lawn now.
I named my Roomba. Wait, they have a Roomba for
your lawn. So you set up, it's like a lawnmower.
No way.
You literally set the GPS coordinates. Husqvarna makes it, right? And it plugs into a little contraption. You set the GPS coordinates, and it just keeps it mowed. 7 days a week. So, hey, that's not
bad, right?
That's not...
that's almost convenient, but is it?
They say it's legit.
I know, but aren't we just getting completely lazy now? Like...
I know, I think it's like a fine balance.
Yeah,
it's a fine balance of, like, convenience, laziness, I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, if you look at like your Elon Musks of the world or your Jeff Bezos, which by the way, there's probably only one of those guys, but yeah. I feel like a lot of, they're just doing it for fun at that point. At what point are they just doing this for fun?
Elon for sure. He made a blowtorch.
Right.
You can tell he's having fun when he names his companies.
The
Boring Company.
Yeah, they're just doing this for fun now. But hey, they're saying it's going to turn into real things. For example, who started? Was it? It might have been like an Uber an Uber type of sponsored thing, but we saw a special not too long ago, and there were major players in this, and I'm going to say like major CEOs of banks and tech companies, not small time stuff, big sharks that were backing and substantiating. I don't know the official terminology, but basically drones to carry people, right? So Uber in the sky, and they were saying it's very real, and it's coming very soon, whereby essentially a drone helicopter, if you will, would pick your group up, maybe a group of 2 only to start, maybe a group of 4, I don't know what that looks like, and literally just over to your destination. And again, I say it wasn't some whack job saying that. It was there were major players that were backing this and again putting their stamp on it, saying, hey, this is a real thing. It's like autonomous cars.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I want to test drive a Tesla. Have you test drove one? Have you hung out with somebody that have you?
I've parked them like at work. I've never really like drove it.
Don't they park themselves?
No kidding, right? And they're supposed to. That's a scary thing.
Here's what I'm worried about with autonomous cars is
who is the liability?
Well, not only that, it's this situation of you start relaxing. Like, when do you start sitting there and saying to yourself, like, hey, we're getting pretty far up on this one curve? Or I think right now, actually there was an accident because there was a median and the car didn't go with
the side of the median.
Yeah, and it hit right into the median.
It's like when GPSs, remember the cubes you used to mount from our thing? When they first came about, people would drive into ponds and lakes. The GPS said to go straight, so God damn it, I'm going straight.
Is that for real?
I swear.
Because I remember that on an episode of The Office.
No, that's a real thing. Yeah, he did do that. Michael did that. Yeah. No, it really happened. So, that's right. Do you just completely relax and the thing doesn't take you to where you need to go?
But autonomous...
They say it's coming.
That's what I'm worried about.
You listen to Joe Rogan?
Now, I think... Yeah.
He had a guest a while back. It was...
Lex... Right? Lex Harrington? Or
I hate to even bring up this topic, and let's not talk about this today. He was someone big with Bitcoin. Bitter subject for me. Okay, Bitcoin. It was some genius. This guy was really intelligent, and he had something to do with Bitcoin, and he was talking about cryptocurrency. This was a couple of years ago, obviously. Okay. And he said, hey, you better get on board with this autonomous vehicles because it's 100% happening. Whether you like it or not. He said our grandkids are going to laugh at us that we used to drive our own cars.
And we used to drive.
And again,
So what do you think they're going to do with truck drivers then? Lose a lot of jobs? I mean, it's only a matter of time before robots start doing that then.
Oh, yeah.
And
you look at like the drones, you look at autonomous truck driving, that's a lot of jobs.
So would we even need to really, if we have those drones, do you even need to own a car?
Hey, we're seeing it already. And again, small example, right? Small example, like the lawnmower. Small example. You talk about the minimum wage thing, right? And then what a face-to-face type of guy.
Me too, absolutely.
But I like it. It's accurate, it's easy, it's intuitive.
I've never used it because I'm a face-to-face guy.
Typically I am.
Yeah.
But let me challenge you.
Sure.
So I am too, and I like to think I'm like traditional in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Like a good hearty handshake?
Like a good hearty handshake, right? Face to face. But you could do this. When's the last time you called an airline? You do it. You book your Expedia.
You're right. Absolutely.
And we're a society that prefers that.
I guess
it's convenient. You get the confirmation. It's email. You can see it. You're not rushed, right? There's no one waiting on the other line, rushing to you to make a choice on a flight or a hotel. Right. You can take your time. You can discuss it.
But what's the drawback on that? The drawback is we're not talking.
No,
we're not talking to anybody.
No, I mean you see people. You see people.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like that the whole time.
Yeah,
and that we're losing that, and I know that drives my dad insane.
It drives me insane.
It drives me insane to the point of when I have a complaint and I have to call the bank, right? And
do they even answer anymore? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
My bank has one teller now. They have a ATM in the bank.
It's a huge building, and there's one teller and one personal banker.
Yeah, it's wild. We're becoming very impersonal.
Correct, and I think that I don't think we're engineered for that. Like our DNA, we're not engineered. I don't think it's right for us to
But there's other generations. There's what 2, 3 generations, categorical generations after us, right? Yeah. You got millennials, you got Z.
Or you're talking about our kids, grandkids.
Yeah, but I mean, you got your millennials.
Yeah.
Then you have Generation Z.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And it's like those guys, hey, they're electronic and they're glued to the video game, the headphone thing where you talk to it, and they're glued to their phones and everything's electronic and they don't have those personal discussions. We were grabbing coffee the other day, and it was like looked like a mom and her daughter, and she was probably 12, 13.
Yeah.
And I said, Jordan, look at this. You know what I mean? And the daughter was just like this the whole time.
Right.
Like this the whole time. The mom was just sitting there by herself, drinking her coffee, supposedly with her daughter. Scary.
That's interesting because the first thing I thought of when you were doing this, I'm thinking, if she's starting that at age 12, right, what is her neck going to be like when she's 30?
I think that's a real thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have any knowledge on that, but I think that's a real thing. Is you're actually getting
you're
rounding.
getting like this.
Yeah, you're getting a rounding, and I don't know.
I think we're closer to ever see Wall-E. Ever see that Disney movie about the little trash can robot?
Oh, yeah.
Right, how he goes up to the spaceship and everybody's just hanging out in a chair and they're all overweight and everything's being brought to them.
Yeah, physical activity.
Yeah, I mean even now, CrossFit is a perfect example of engineering our own suffering. Because it's not like, back in the 1800s where you were hunter-gatherers.
Right.
You were walking everywhere, or riding a horse at least. Or
yeah. I feel like everything has 2 sides, though, to that coin, right?
Absolutely.
And I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. But then there's the flip side of hey, you talk about CrossFit, right? So, or any fitness for that matter.
Right.
When did you start working out?
Oh, 12.
Yeah, I was 18. I didn't even do
but
it really.
Back then, it wasn't for fitness.
It was
nothing. Back then, it was I wanted to be I think Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Bloodsport.
I wanted to do that.
So, but look at now. I mean, they've got fitness programs that are going in schools or that kids can do, right? CrossFit Kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
it needs to happen now.
So hey, this kid's got more, and I'll just talk about mine for sake of this conversation. But you got the one aspect where his technology is through the roof, but then you got the other side of hey, he's doing this CrossFit Kids program. Staying fit,
good point.
Staying active. So there's 2 sides of that coin. It's almost like the whole, when I was a kid, we would leave at sunrise, and I'd come
when
home
I walked to school
dinner.
and 4 miles up the hill, and
but it's true. We would leave first thing. Think of summer vacation, right? We would walk out of the house in the morning
and not come home
until dark, and then I'd check in, and then we're back out for dark. And so how that's the truth
for sure.
I'm not gonna let 8. No way.
You can't do that.
Whack jobs.
You can't do. Yeah,
there's just whack jobs. You know what I mean?
So here's my question: Is there more whack jobs, or is the fact that because of social media and where more our attention is brought more to it?
I think that social media has, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to word this as best I can on the fly. I think that social media has given a platform to people with very, to you and I, different or obscure interests, right? Who actually Sebastian Maniscalco, you know that guy?
The comedian.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. You're big into comedians, right?
Oh man, he's coming in. He's a local guy.
Yeah, you're right.
He's from Rolling Meadows or Arlington Heights.
Tom Sarah, I always mess up his name. Funny comedian. Tom.
Google it. We got a computer here.
It's a Spanish.
We got a computer.
It's Tom Segura.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Segura. That guy's awesome.
But here, I'll put it in humor terms, right? Because I don't want to get too political or whatever. But hey, he says, hey, the internet's giving guys who like to dress like bunnies and hop around a mall. He's like, now you can get a group of other people that like to dress like bunnies and hop around the mall. And it's like, so he's obviously making a joke, but think about that. It's given a platform for people to. Someone who liked to dress like a bunny and hop around or whatever, and he's making a joke again. Yeah. They just didn't really do that,
Or they did it in their house.
Or alone, and no one knew about it and whatever. Now, it's an out there thing, right? And I guess nowadays they can consider themselves a bunny, I think. But
that.
because I think you could just pick whatever.
I think I read an article where a big time executive at a law firm or a business, one of his employees wanted to be known as a cat, and he wanted a cat litter box next to his cubicle.
What did they do?
I don't know. I heard about it. I didn't look into it, but what the fuck?
Come on, what are we doing?
What we're doing is we're
and social media is just pouring gas on this fire.
Yeah, I think. Well, the reason they pour gas on it is because people stand up for people like that.
Yeah,
and that gives them more power. Look, if you want to be a cat at home, cool,
knock yourself out.
But if you no, dude, you're not gonna take a piss in a litter box in the middle of work.
It's social media substantiates it, and then it gives them a platform to blow it up.
Yeah,
and so you'll get a guy who wants to dress like a cat. You'll get whatever it may be, and it just gets way out of hand.
My ADD kicked in. Is that a tattoo on your arm?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I got this.
You got a new one?
I got this a year ago. So it's like my two things that keep me completely mindless towards anything, right? So I got the mountain scene right there.
Okay.
And then on the backside I got a beach.
All right.
Aiden right there in the mountains.
I see.
And then I got a spot right there where Baby K's name's going.
Baby K.
Yeah. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm finally thinking I'm going to take the plunge and get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Because the longest time,
Gwen inspired, or what are we thinking?
Actually, yeah, Gwen inspired.
Yeah,
her little footprint. I don't know where I'm going.
Where are you going to get? I was just going to say
I have no idea. I'm thinking forearm, but I have no idea.
I got
for sure. Yeah. What I want are angel wings on this whole shoulder.
There you go.
I think that would look cool.
Yeah.
I think my wife thinks I'm because I've been saying things for years. I want a tattoo, and I never got one yet.
Well, get one you like. And hey, I've been wanting something to incorporate Aiden for the longest, and so it took me 7 years, quite honestly, to figure out what I'm going to do.
I like it.
So
it's good.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome work. Yeah. My brother-in-law actually had an artist up in Libertyville, so I was super close. Right. Yeah, she does good work.
Up in Libertyville? All right. Well,
yeah.
Maybe I'll go check her out.
Convene.
Yeah, absolutely. So you and I have we share a or I should say an enthusiasm for coffee. So
that's not the word.
I wanted to talk to you about coffee in terms of, do you prefer hot or cold?
In every way, shape, and form, I prefer hot coffee. I enjoy iced coffee or cold brew coffee.
Okay, I'm seasonal.
Well, yeah. So I prefer hot coffee. Coffee is like my indulgence. It's my favorite thing.
I agree. There's nothing like waking up in the morning and having it.
There's nothing like it. Yeah. And good coffee, right? So Jordan makes fun of me all the time, for my coffee stuff. I just found a thing the other day called Porigami. It's like origami pour coffee. So it's like a travel pour over.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on Kickstarter right now.
All right.
So it's pretty cool. Check that out. Origami. But anyways, yeah, it's amazing. It's like wine people. When wine people... I like wine. Do you like wine?
I love wine.
So I love wine, but I don't know anything about wine. Do you?
Not a thing. I know that I need to smell it. I don't know what I'm smelling.
Yeah. I know what you need to
twirl and go...
and then just go, and give it one half more and say, yeah, we'll take it.
I'm ridiculous when we go to wineries. I'm just like...
No, I have no idea. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I love wine.
I think the process of it is cool.
It's cool.
All of I think it's really fascinating, but I don't know it to where I could be snobby about it.
Exactly. And so I love it, and I appreciate the process of wine, but I don't know what I'm doing. Right. And you hear wine people talk about wine, and they're talking about the notes of this or that and the other, and I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Coffee, that's how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I could taste the nutty caramel notes, or I could taste the blueberry vanilla notes. Right?
Really? Okay. You might be a little bit more deep dive than I am.
Well,
it doesn't mean I'm not going to follow you down
absolutely.
Down that path. But
I love it, and I've just gotten into it. I've obviously enjoyed the taste, but I've gotten into more. If Jordan's watching, she's gonna make fun of me. But what they call third wave coffee, right? So you got your first wave coffee, that's like Folgers. Right? Okay. Folgers is first wave coffee. It's the first wave of, Maxwell House.
Yeah.
Then there was second wave coffee, which is Starbucks, which I'm sorry for the...
Wait, are you making these waves up?
No, this is like a real thing.
You read this out of a book or something? How do you know it's a real thing?
Well, I'm into it. So I read about it. I'm researching different beans and roasteries.
Okay, so somebody broke this down that you read.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So then you got like your second wave coffee, which is like your Starbucks, which, again, sorry to the Starbucks lovers, but it's like burnt coffee. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we want a bold bean. So they just burn the shit out of the beans, and it tastes like dog
I thought
shit.
they soak it in sugar, don't they?
I don't even know. It's over roasting, mass produced. That's your second wave coffee. And then we got the third wave, which is where we're at now, right? And that's bringing it way down. You've got co-ops, right? So you got groups of farmers that are producing small batches of coffee that are roasted in super small batches with a goal of bringing out the flavors, not coming up with the boldest, baddest fucking cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those days are like, that's not a real...
So I saw one of your Instagram posts that you had it as Bird Creek.
Bird
Roasting.
Creek.
Yeah.
That's my buddy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. When are you going to help me out with that? Because the packaging looked legit.
So this is my buddy Brandon.
Awesome.
My buddy Brandon.
If you're listening.
My buddy Brandon. He should be listening.
I would love to talk about this on the podcast. So if you want to send me a sample or something.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
Heck yeah. We'll see what we can do there.
I'll promote him.
He's the same. Hey, he talks like I talk right now, right? He just loves his coffee. So what he did, and actually that's what I kind of want to do, is he started just roasting his own coffee, and he got some investors, and he bought a commercial roaster, and he buys small batches of beans raw.
Where's he buy them? How's that work? Like,
I don't know where he gets them, but they're pretty readily available. You can find co-ops, in Ethiopia and South America and Brazil and you name it. You could buy the raw beans. He roasts them, and you roast them. Almost, it becomes like an art, right? So it's very scientific.
So how do you roast them? When I hear roast, I think oven.
I'm no expert in roasting, right? But you got these big commercial roasters, and a lot of it is like...
Well, because they're mass producing. I get that.
Well, mass producing.
If you're doing this at your house...
You could buy roasters. You could buy roasters that are a little bit bigger than this Yeti, you know what I mean? And they roast small, maybe pound at a time, 12 ounces at a time. And you roast them, and it's all about like smoke dissipation and getting rid of the smoke and just slowly roasting them to perfect temperatures, not charring them like Starbucks does.
Would you dare say that this, for you, is a meditative state? Like, when you're preparing your coffee, you're getting in some sort of a meta state where you are just...
I'm zoning out.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking about what I'm doing, and...
Well, you can't be thinking about what you're doing. Well, it's not that complicated.
But you're thinking about that cup of coffee, right? It absolutely. It's awesome. It's like part of a routine. And so, I don't... there's a lot of different brewing methods. I would think we're doing maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different methods at home. And we'll do what's
you are at your house.
Yeah, brewing methods.
Actually, help me out. French roast. French press. French press or slow pour.
So French press is
what's better? What do you think's better?
You can't say. So French press, you can get a nice bold cup of coffee, right? So a bold cup of coffee to somebody 10 years ago was a burnt Starbucks bean.
Okay,
tastes like shit.
Okay.
A bold cup of coffee now is a nice roasted bean, medium roasted bean. And if you look at Starbucks, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You ever notice? I don't know if you taste. It's glossy, but if you look at the bean, they're glossy. They're they're shiny. Right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that. You shouldn't have So if you look at like a well roasted bean, it should be very opaque, right? It's opaque. It's not charred with all the oils just spilling out of it. You want.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
You're educating me.
Yeah, so they overcooked the beans, over roasted the beans, and all the oils are out already. Versus you want to take a medium roasted bean, bring out all the flavors, and then you fresh grind it, and then you can bring out the oils and all those delicious oils and aromas. This is the obsession coming out now.
Why didn't you bring me a cup?
I know. You saw me. I did a nice pour over. Yeah. I did a nice pour over right before I came here to get pumped up.
I thought I was going to impress you with my bulletproof coffee skills and stuff, and you're...
Are you doing bulletproof?
Every now and then.
It's so tasty.
It is.
You have to blend
really
it.
tasty.
You have to blend
and you got to be careful.
Do you have a blender in there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
got a little ninja.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to blend it.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes, just another added step, but the butter is so good.
So what else do you put in your coffee?
I'm a cream guy. I'm like
Me too. Are you heavy whipping cream?
No, just half and half.
Just half and half.
Just a dash of half and half.
Have you ever tried heavy whipping cream?
I don't think I have.
Just a splash.
Is it amazing?
Absolutely.
Just thicker.
It's
like a textured thing.
It's like it's a texture thing. It's also like it's a step up from half and half.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
You don't put any of that bullshit like the creamers with hazelnut creamers and all that stuff. You do that, don't you?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Absolutely not.
Thank God.
That's not coffee to me. That's a dessert.
I agree.
And that's fine. I think it has its place. But no, that's not coffee.
Okay, I agree.
No. So a bold cup of coffee is a French press.
Okay,
Right?
slow pour.
Yeah. Slow pour. So then you got your pour overs, right? So you got there's like 10 different type of pour overs. So you have like.
But are you looking for different taste in each one? Is it a different taste or is it a different texture? Is it different smoothness?
All of the above. So, like, what was the one you sent me today? What was that called?
Nell Sip.
Nell. So that's like a bag type, right? It's like a canvas bag.
Yeah.
And so what you're going to get there is like a slower brew, a slower drip. It's gonna. So think of like a paper filter versus the canvas bag.
But it's like a super deep, like big time filter, right? So where it drips through
slowly. So you're gonna get a longer brew time. So you need to use a coarser grind. So see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't see what you're saying, but I can see that this is a lot more complicated than I thought.
And I think
which is fascinating.
One of the things that's been a learning curve for us is like. Is you're not going to perfect it right away. Right. You're going to have to make it like little tweaks.
Well, it's part of the journey.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's kind of cool. So you get like a paper filter that's gonna fall through, drip through pretty quickly.
Right.
So you need a finer ground so it can pick up that coffee. Otherwise, it's going to be water. Okay. You know what I mean? If you have a really slow dripping or a slow dripping bag like the Nell, if you put a fine ground in there, it's going to taste so bold. I mean, it can be overwhelmingly bold,
right?
Because it's going to brew for way too long.
Have you ever tried Cypher?
No.
I looked at the picture today. It looks wicked.
Cypher?
Yeah. Cypher.
They've got AeroPress. They've got Porigami. I have a travel press.
Like
I'll bring to work.
Cypher coffee.
PS?
No. Cypher coffee.
Handballs.
I gotta show you the. That came up wrong. There it is. Siphon coffee. Siphon coffee.
Let me see it.
I'm trying to get there. The internet's slow down here.
You got a Captain America, dude. So we are starting. I know this. We're starting.
That's why I wanted Gwen's birthday to be July 4th. Captain America's birthday.
We started that episode, so we looked up. We didn't realize the 20, 30, 40 movies. Avenger movies are like in sequential.
Oh, you didn't know that?
We found this out last week. So we watched a Captain America 1 and 2.
Look at that. It looks badass. I don't know what the hell that is, but I want to try it.
So it's a siphon coffee. So
show the viewers.
Yeah.
So you know what we're
Can
talking
about.
Can you see that? No, they can't see that. How about we do that? You see that? Cipher.
But so much of this it's just cool. You know what I mean? I mean, you just put it on your counter. It's a talking thing. Yeah. Our buddies came over. Our good friends came over last week, and we were out of town a couple weeks ago, just a little getaway for the weekend, and we basically did nothing, drank good coffee, and relaxed. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah,
and so
good time.
It got me back on the pour over, right? And so we've been doing a pour over a little bit, and so we had some friends over last weekend. You get the pour over. You're doing a nice pour over, and everyone loves it. You know what I mean? So this is just like a sexy desktop thing. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting one of those just for the look.
That's what I'm saying. It's a talking thing. But they've got like travel things now. I have one. It's called a palm press. Mm-hmm. It's like a big ass hockey puck.
Okay.
And literally it collapses and whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, I can almost put it in my pocket. And so you can bring it when you travel. Yeah. Bring grounds in a canister.
How often do you travel?
I mean, not a great deal. But I mean, we were just in Scottsdale, or I'll bring it to work. You know what I mean? We were in Scottsdale.
That's right. You got done with your baby moon.
Yeah. So that we were in Scottsdale for like a long weekend, which was awesome. I brought that though.
Did you do Camelback, or was that in Phoenix?
No, when we go out there, we typically will do Camelback. Yeah. But here's your phone back, brother.
Thank you.
She's 6. She was 6 months pregnant, so there was no Camelback in. So we found some cool trails and hiked, and it was awesome.
What's wrong with you, Jordan?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just Camelback. Toughen up.
Hey, Camelback, you know what? She could do the up. Have you done Camelback?
Yeah.
You can the upside.
In fact,
it's the
I
down.
did it. I did it when I had my
Shoulder surgery?
Shoulder surgery. I was in there. I have pictures of it. I was walking around just fine. What does she have? Like 14 pounds in her stomach?
Something. Yeah, exactly.
Come
It's
on,
the
Jordan.
down.
Toughen up. Jesus.
She's listening too. It's the down. The downs. You know what I mean?
The
It's
down
just
is
aggressive.
rough. The down is rough.
Huge
And I don't know what
snobs.
it is, but every time Ursula and I go hiking, we either bite off more than we can chew, and it always threatens with a rainstorm at the end. So we're always rushing down.
Yeah, that would be sketchy. Mm-hmm. That'd be sketchy.
Yeah. It hardly rains in Arizona, but it seems to rain when
It rained when we were out there.
Did it?
We were talking about
Maybe it
golfing.
rains more. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we were talking about golfing, and then
Yeah.
started downpouring. We didn't have a tee time, so whatever. Live and learn.
You still golfing?
I'm terrible at golf. Do you golf?
Yeah. The one time we went golfing was for a certain person's
Bachelor party? I was with you.
And I remember you were with me. You left. You were like, I'm not hanging out with this idiot. Because I'm like, I didn't know what club you use for what. I'm not privileged, Michael. I didn't come from.
I didn't start golfing until like 3 years ago, and I think it's a ton of fun.
Are you one of those annoying bastards that you're just good at everything?
No, not this. No. I'm absolutely terrible.
Jordan,
at
if
golf.
he is one of those annoying bastards that's good at everything,
She will
text me.
You could get her on
Text
the
me
line right now.
now. Text
You can
me
get her on
right
the line.
now.
I'm awful at golf. My goal was to beat 100. Right.
Okay.
I had last year. I was determined. I hit 101, and one of my holes was like an 8.
Okay.
Had I gotten a 6, I would have gotten my 99. And now with the baby coming, I mean, we're just gonna golf less and less. It's fun as hell, though.
No, it's a lot of fun
If you
for
can,
sure. I had
can,
fun.
Yeah, if you can relax and just not get pissed, and the more tense you get, that I'm better at sports that you can just
Be aggressive.
grit, dig your feet in, let's go.
Yeah.
Golf is the exact opposite.
It's almost it's a zen.
Yeah, you have to forget about your last
you gotta
shot. You have to not
you gotta
care.
take your coffee mind to golf.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You doing like meditation stuff? My buddy is getting big into that.
I've been reading a lot about
It's huge.
successful people, right? And what makes them successful. And almost every single time in the morning, they're all meditating.
Well, it's also that and a routine.
Right. The routine. Right. But so I've been thinking about it. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Mind races too much. I've been doing a lot of
You and me
yoga lately.
both. Have you really?
Yeah, hot yoga. Yeah, Ursula.
Dude, I did that a few years ago.
Ursula challenged me.
Where do
to
you
do
go?
it. Sky Fitness, just down the street. Great person. The instructor is named Tabitha. She's going to be on the podcast talking about yoga.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I never knew how strong you had to be for some of those
To hold the
poses.
positions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did hot yoga 5-10 sessions a couple years ago.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it is. It's
Awesome.
great. And again, that's another state where you're in that moment, and that's all you're focusing on.
You don't have an excuse. You have to stay there, right?
Yeah.
If I start stretching or doing whatever, because I feel good if I stretch and loosen up and whatever, especially as we're getting older, but you're locked in for that.
Yeah,
hour.
35. How's that old feel for you? Then?
Hey, it's all relative, brother. It's all relative. I always told myself I wasn't going to be that guy who
complained about your age?
warming up, your knees hurt, you're kind of making fun of the old guy.
Yeah.
Now
No,
it's
that's a real thing.
Now it's like, you know what? I'm gonna hit some jumping jacks. You know what I mean? I don't want to lock up after this. So, hey, it's a bear, but I would like to get back into hot yoga.
I guess Michael Brady's telling me to read the chat feed.
Oh man.
So I don't know what he's saying to me. Let's see if I can get that up. Sorry, Brady. He's saying he's so aroused. A Chemex pour over. I want to hear more about Kurgan's beans. Okay, so
Brady. Hey, we got listeners, though, right?
Yeah, we got listeners, so I appreciate that. That helps.
I'm actually we were out in Denver.
You should go look him up, hang out with him.
Brady, you're listening.
Now there's shrooms, so he's going to take you on a fun
kidding.
little ride.
We actually went out to ski in
He
January.
skis all the time.
No,
He's
I
always
know.
posting about
I forgot to ping him right out of the gate, and so we pinged him right when we got there, and he was too busy. But we were hoping to meet up with him. We met up with another friend, which is awesome. That's God's country out there,
I love Denver.
dude. That's our end game.
Yeah.
That's our end game.
You know what? I think I'm getting Ursula. Our end game, I think our end game has something to do with a beach, and if I can find a beach out in Denver, we're good. But I don't think I can.
Yeah, you can find a. hey, that's like, there is so much to do out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an outdoor heaven.
Anytime I hear people, here's the problem though, right? I don't think you're the only one that's the end game.
Denver.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think everybody's
look at their
going to
population growth in the last 5 years.
It's gone, and it's going to go up more
insane.
and more and more and more.
It's
because
insane.
People are just. I hear it's hard to live out there though.
Why?
I think it's because more people are coming.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
But you still get what you get out of a major city, right? With Denver, with Denver proper is what I meant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have the jobs and the economy like a Chicago.
Right.
It's like a mini Chicago.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I mean, Denver's huge.
With
Denver's
mountains.
no joke. With mountains
Beautiful
and hiking
scenery.
and everything.
Yeah. And a couple of mountain lions and bears that can kill you if you're not careful.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny.
You have a bear story, don't you?
Yeah, I got a bear story.
Not a Chicago bear story.
Yeah, I'm
bear
looking at
story.
a
big
pendant.
Fucking monster bear. Right?
We did. It's kind of ridiculous. We did a Jeep tour, right? So we not a tour. We rented. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, got a baby on the way. So actually, Jordan's looking as we speak to trade in her Jeep because that's just reality now.
Don't do it.
We have to
Keep one Jeep.
You can't fit a baby seat.
Really?
If you put a baby seat, you have to take the front seat all the way up, so it becomes unusable. So at that point, it's kind of silly.
Damn babies.
I know, it's just ridiculous. It's kind of one of those things. So she's looking to see what we can do.
Sir,
But-
you're done.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want some more?
Let's do it.
All right.
Can we take a brief hiatus?
No.
Or I'll walk away. You're gonna walk away.
No, you just keep telling me.
All right,
Tell me
so
about your bear
the
story.
Bear story.
Yeah.
We did a Jeep tour a couple years ago. I keep saying tour, but what we did is we rented a Jeep out in. Did we leave it out? We rented a Jeep out in Phoenix. Perfect.
All right. Phoenix.
We rented a Jeep out in Phoenix, and basically the gist was this thing was outfitted to the gills. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Hang on one second. I am listening to you, but I just remembered something. Brady, you talked about some sort of whiskey that I had to try. It would be a really good idea for you to send me a bottle, man. All right?
Can he see you?
Yeah, you can see me.
Is this like a split screen? Oh, they got both of us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's not just you. It's not,
Well, I thought this was about me, but I guess not.
It is the Johnny Angel podcast. But go ahead.
So we rented a Jeep that was outfitted to the nth degree. Had a fridge in there, a tent on top of the Jeep. So literally,
Nice.
it had a grill, like you name it. So really, the gist was you rented it for 4 or 5 days, and you just did whatever the fuck you want.
Because you had your hotel.
Because you had everything. You had a hotel. So we went to. We did like a 3-day thing, right? So it was a 4-day thing. So we went to the Grand Canyon and camped at the Grand Canyon. You know, we did the Grand Canyon. We hiked it, to the bottom, not to the all the way bottom, but we hiked like 4 or 5 miles down or whatever.
Right.
Hiked back up, and then we camped at the Grand Canyon, which was awesome. And again,
I gotta do that.
the Grand Canyon in general.
Yeah. No, I've done the Grand Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go hiking. Like I want to go camping down there.
Oh, at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you could.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. That's the ADD in me now.
Yeah.
That's called something. There's some hike you can do that's like X amount of miles down there.
Right.
That's supposed to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It gets cold as hell down there.
I heard. Well, it makes sense actually if you think about it.
Well, I know.
Yeah. But yeah.
We hiked. We did the Grand Canyon during the day. Then we parked in the national park and camped. It was awesome. Like I said, we went grocery shopping. We had our cooler full of meat.
There's nothing
We
better
just
than
grilled
camping,
out.
man.
Dude, it's awesome.
Dude, camping is the best. I
why?
wish I could get the missus on that because she is just. I think she thinks bugs.
These don't work when you camp.
That's
if you're camping in the right spots, these don't work, and that's a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful
Because you're not checking. There's no reason to check it at that point.
beautiful. There's a couple of hobbies out there that you can do that. My dad said it perfectly. He says it's a place where you can go to think or not to think.
That's snowboarding for me.
That's snowboarding for you.
Snowboarding's, I don't want to say the only, but I'll say for the sake of conversation on the Johnny Angel podcast, we'll say that's the only thing that I can do that I'm mindless.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about parenting. I'm not thinking about bills. I'm not thinking about things we have to do at the house.
Right.
I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Which is why I think why I love to do it. But camping is kind of one of those things. In a certain way. I mean, it's slow.
Well, it's also a generational thing. I mean, because when I think about camping, I think about kids. I think about marshmallows. But
that's okay.
Campfire, all the fun stuff. And then they bring their kids because I brought my kids.
See, that'd be fun. That's what I want to do is find groups that you can go with, right?
Let's
And
make a group.
like a thing.
Let's
out
make
of
a
it.
group.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna have babies that are pretty close in age.
Yeah.
So
it's fun. We
Let's
did it
do
a couple years ago. It was so much fun.
yeah, that's absolute. I'd be down for it. I don't know if the missus is gonna come, but it'll be me and
figure it
Gwen.
out.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
we could
Maybe we bring ham.
Glamping.
Maybe.
What's that called? Glamping? Actually, there's a
What the hell is
website.
glamping? What are you talking about?
It's like glamorous camping. There's a website.
Oh, that would be the missus for sure.
You got to see this though. I don't know the name of the site or whatever, but there's a website that you can get these luxury tents.
Okay.
Dude,
I gotta look that up.
absolutely fucking beautiful.
I think I could talk
I
into
mean,
it if I get that one.
Yeah, so you basically they're propped up, and they're all over. But let's call one Colorado, right? So you're in the middle of the Rockies, and it's this beautiful setup, like executive setup. But you open up the flaps of the tent, and you've got you're just there.
Yeah.
It's next level.
gorgeous.
But they're all over. They got beach destinations. So, anyways, going back to the story real quick about the bear, we did the Grand Canyon, which is awesome, and then we drove up north. No, we drove south but we climbed elevation. That's why I say north. We went to Flagstaff.
I love Flagstaff.
And there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, and we were the only ones in this park, and we parked the Jeep, and basically the rule, climbing into this canyon, right, or climbing into this this mountain, this location, is basically, hey, if you can make it up here, you're welcome. If you can't, turn the fuck around because you're gonna get stuck. And there's 2 feet of snow, and we obviously had a Jeep. We made it up there, and we got there, and it's just wide open, just probably hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
We're the only ones there. We're like, let's set up camp.
Right, yeah.
Build a fire, cook
Beautiful.
dinner, all that good stuff. Awesome. 2 good nights, right?
Uh-oh.
The last night is when we were late getting to this location.
Yeah.
The campground was closed this time of year because it was like October. Campground was closed. And so we just went in like an abandoned campground. It was raining. It was muddy. It was hard to, the sun, like I said, we got there too late, so the sun was setting and we were running out of time. It was not ideal. So we finally find this location. We're kind of, it's kind of tense at that point. We're kind of frustrated. We set up camp, whatever. It's just miserable. We have a gas heater inside our tent.
Yeah.
So we're like basically dead. We're barely eating dinner. We're just shivering.
It's man versus wild stuff.
Literally, I mean, we're just shivering, just running the gas heater, trying not to pass out. And we thought there was a bear outside of our tent. It sounded like thrashing. Like obviously this is not the sound, but it
Are
sounded like
bears in Arizona?
Oh yeah,
They are?
Oh, absolutely.
What kind? Like black bears, you think?
Sure, let's go with it. I don't know.
I'll say brown bears.
Let's go brown bears.
I'll say brown bears. Brady would know.
Brady would know. Chime in.
Brady fucking
to the
knows
chat.
everything.
And we could have sworn there was a bear there. And we were, it was a little bit of a panic situation. But at the same time, we're not going to go check because I don't know how that works. But if it's, then we could be in a precarious situation. So we thought there was a bear. It was a very tense couple of hours. We didn't know what it was. It ended up being, it was snowing and hailing and icing conditions. And it was like the ice against the tent that sounded like it was making like the thrashing.
So it wasn't a bear.
It wasn't a bear. But we thought it was a bear.
Kurgan, I'm very upset. Like
I thought I fought a bear?
I thought it was gonna be some sort of a bear story, and it's your wild imagination.
I wish.
Because you were freezing.
Hallucinating because the
Right. So
the CO.
So you were being a pussy.
Call what you will, but you would have been in the same boat.
I don't know, man.
You would have fought the bear.
No. I wouldn't have fought a bear. I would have pissed in my pants for sure. Probably. I probably would have thought the same thing.
Dude, bears are nuts.
Bears are monsters. They are
Absolute
monsters. Have you seen
monsters.
I watch that. I have Instagram where it's Nature's Metal.
I don't know that one.
Okay.
I have a bunch of
Get that there's one where
Nature's
there's
Metal?
this guy. Yeah, this guy is actually filming this baby doe, and this bear, and it's not that big of a bear. This bear just comes out of nowhere and is mauling it, and he's filming it the whole time, and it's that poor deer is screaming, and he's ripping into this deer. I don't suggest. I mean,
Just manhandles it.
Yeah, and they're monsters. They're not like this cute, cuddly Yogi Bear thing. They are monsters.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people realize.
So you know what I saw?
You get those pictures where they're at the at the dump and they wave to you and shit.
Oh yeah, they're not friendly.
No.
So we saw we were at some like nature thing and we saw this bald eagle, right? And Aiden was able to take a picture of the bald eagle, and it was crazy impressive just how big they are.
Bald eagles are awesome.
Their claws are bigger than my hands. Their wingspan is like 8
impressive
feet.
Animal.
And they can just pummel anything.
Yeah.
So then it kind of got me looking into some attack videos, right? And then I started getting into golden eagles. Do you know anything about a golden eagle?
No.
So a golden eagle, and I'm not an expert, is like 10 times more aggressive than a bald eagle. I've seen videos where they're taking down deer, foxes, deer.
Really? Like, okay, so like
literally, they
fawns,
come
right?
down so
Or like
hard, and
babies.
literally they hit them like a ton of bricks. You know what I mean? They just boom.
That's true. Yeah,
It just,
I
it just
can see that.
coming out of. They don't see them coming. They don't hear them coming. It just tackles them, digs them in. Their beaks come in. You know what I mean? And just start mauling them.
Have you ever hunted?
No, never.
I haven't either. Do you want to?
Yeah,
I want to.
Like, what kind of hunting?
Both. I want to bow hunt because I know it's incredibly difficult and you need to really have skill for it, and with a gun.
What about like this giraffe big game stuff?
You know, no,
I'm not about
I
that.
I don't have any. I understand it, and I think what a lot of people like. You remember when that Leo guy that lion that the dentist shot or something?
Yeah, it's like
Okay, that guy got kind of he kind of got he kind of got sideshowed because I shouldn't say sideshowed. He just got the wrong end of the stick because what they don't explain, there's more to a story than that. Like that guy had to pay a lot of money. And
it was
that
legal.
Money, yeah, that
he had a
money,
permit. It was legal.
That money also provided the village with like clean water.
Well, and they also use those
Shoes
funds for conservation of those
and
animals,
conservation
too.
of the animal.
No, I'm not
and
advocating it.
and the lion he shot was an old lion that has already. And what happens is, and I didn't know this, but
Mated and
yeah, he's
reproduced.
already So what I didn't know about this is that lions actually like they will kill younger lions, so they stay on top.
So it was almost like beneficial in that
Yeah,
point.
it's absolutely
Yeah.
beneficial.
Yeah, no, I hear ya. I'm
But
blanket.
That being said,
Blanket. I'm just.
I don't
want
wanna
to
shoot
you
a
get
lion.
like the giraffes. Then
Yeah.
people shoot giraffes. Giraffes are an endangered species. All
I
of a
don't.
sudden.
Are they
As of like last week?
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
had
I saw
no
it
idea.
somewhere. I mean, I haven't fact checked it, but
had no
I believe
idea
so.
about
So, but let me throw like the opposite. Then you get like invasive hogs in Texas.
Yes, where you can shoot them out of a helicopter with Uzis.
Sign me up.
Right, I would
Sign
do
me
that.
up.
I would totally do that.
You know what I mean? Then you're kind of serving a purpose. That would be fun.
Absolutely.
In a helicopter, AR-15 hanging out, 4 buddies, hunting hogs.
Well, we should try that.
Yeah.
Why not? Right?
Yes.
Get some of the boys.
It's uber expensive, but that
Is it really?
looks.
I guess it would be.
But that would be incredible though.
That won't happen then for me.
You know what I mean? Like
for a while.
because there's like, hey, listen, there's like sitting in a tree. I don't even know how. Like sitting in a tree waiting for a deer.
Yeah.
Like maybe get a shot. In a
Well,
day.
no, I don't want to sit.
No, I want to like go after it.
I want to stalk. I think it's called stalking.
So this
which
one-
they say is incredibly difficult, but that's fine. Like,
How about this? Back to back, walking the hog trails in Texas. Back to back, 2 guys, me and you.
Okay.
Back to back, and as they're coming up to you, you gotta.
Because I think they're vicious animals.
I think it. Well, that's true. If they get you, you're pretty fucked. Hog hunting, Texas.
You get a machine gun?
No, you can. Well,
So you get a gun that you have to constantly try to. Like, I don't even know a lot about.
Yeah, maybe you
guns.
gotta be in
I
a
gotta go to
helicopter.
shooting range. I gotta go to shooting range to figure this shit out.
that's one thing that's totally I totally stopped doing.
Yeah.
Because guns kill people. I'm just kidding. Because time. It's a time.
Yeah, time. Yeah, and you're not gonna have a lot of time. That's the reason I wanted you to be my first guest. Because you're not gonna have a lot of time.
No, I already don't have a lot of time.
You're not gonna have a lot of time.
Work's busy.
Yeah.
and
I
the
probably
house
won't
chores
see
are
you
busy,
till
and the
August.
Kids busy.
Maybe September.
Yeah.
Maybe September.
Right. That's how it
Maybe.
works nowadays, though.
Because I do want to come over and meet the little.
That's how it works
the
nowadays.
little K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby K, that's how it works, man. I'm telling you.
Anyway,
Everyone's just so damn busy.
another main reason why I brought you here is because a long time ago I found out that you were once an LA cop.
That is a fact.
Okay. Cops, I have a great appreciation for them.
You and me both, brother.
Okay. Because I feel like this with first responders, doctors, paramedic, soldiers. Most of the time, they're meeting people on those people's worst day.
Yep.
90% of the time, they're going to lie to a cop. 90% of the time, if I'm a cop, every time I meet somebody, pretty much I'm meeting them at their worst moment.
Yeah.
Or a moment that they're not happy about.
Yeah.
So,
which sets the table for just like, a potentially contentious situation.
Absolutely. And this is every day.
And that's
every day they're doing it.
Nonstop. The day in life is insane. You wouldn't even believe it.
So, take me to it. How did you did you grow up wanting to be a cop?
So that was the deal. So
that was a calling.
So that was the thing. I grew up and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a cop. So that's what I did. I went to school for policing, right? Or criminal justice.
You still have the uniform?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I kept one uniform.
Do you wear it sometimes?
Literally every day. I just walk around the house.
Is it one of those situations where you're like, looks like Jordan's
a
bad girl?
I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there. It's just a Navy getup.
Okay.
I actually do have one, but so yeah, I always wanted to do that, and I wanted to, kind of my vision of what I wanted to do is not how it is nowadays, right? So I wanted to, have heavy action, things like that. So I was testing for LA.
You want to save the world.
Literally, right? You like a kid. Like
I would think as
you
a
say
calling,
that facetiously,
that's what it would be.
But as a kid, that's kind of the way you think, right?
Yeah.
Almost like superhero type stuff. So then I was testing for Chicago and LA.
Okay.
Because that was like big city, a lot of action, and that's
you
what
were
I
going to be
wanted.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Sorry, my brother just texted in right here.
That's right.
What's up, Mark? Love you, brother. Yeah, testing LA, Chicago simultaneously because I wanted big action, big city. That's where I was looking. They were both hiring at the time. This is like 10 plus years ago, almost 15 years ago now.
Okay.
And LA called me first. Literally, I would go there and do like a chunk of testing. Your polygraph test, your background check, your physical test.
So polygraph. So they sit you down for a lie detector.
Yeah.
What do they ask you?
God, I struggle to even remember exactly, but I want to say there was like an application questionnaire and things like that when they ask you a bunch of questions.
Hang on one second. My dog is freaking
Ham's going
out.
ham?
Yeah, Ham is going ham. So keep talking.
Yeah. So what they did was, sorry, I got to look at him because he's a bulldog. They verify the questions that you put on your, I say application, but this huge questionnaire just to see if you get any sort of spikes like that. So, yeah, they'll ask you questions about your drug history. They'll ask you like gang affiliation.
Have you ever hit a baby?
Yeah, things like that. Dangled the baby over a balcony. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. No big deal. So then I would do the groups of testing. I finally got called to LA, and I just literally they gave me like 8, 9, 10 days notice and said, "Hey, we need you. The academy's starting this day. We need you." And it was like literally like 8, 9, 10 days before. So I packed up. Me and my dad drove out there and literally just moved out there.
Okay, so you're a police officer.
Yeah.
Are you one of the how's that work? You're a police officer. You wear the uniform. You do what? Like street patrol?
I think so. No, no one. That's the thing. There's no patrol in LA.
Really?
So patrol meaning drive around looking for crime and whatever. Yeah. That doesn't exist out there. It's call after call after call after call. You're just responding to calls. So you usually don't do what you
you're not
might
just
think.
driving.
No, never. It's not like here. It's not like in the suburbs. You're going from call. You have a backlog of calls. So you're just constantly going to burglary in progress. Then you have a party that's out of control. Then you have a domestic violence thing. And then you have to, serve this, that, and the other thing. So it's constant, right? And then if you get, you might come across something while you're driving somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can pick and choose, if you want to stop, if something's more pressing, if you want to stop someone that is doing something right in front of you, then of course you kind of just handle it. Yeah, it's just wild, man.
So